1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to school. But don't worry, everything is cool. I'm your host, Jalissa, and of course, I am here with the boys, Steve and Brandon. Say what's up, you guys.
What's up?
And we got a special guest today. We got Andrea.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm chill.
I'm good too, Julie. You didn't ask us for once.
Yeah, I didn't ask.
'Cause
you.
We have a guest. I have to be
Oh.
nice to
Yeah.
our guest.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
how are you guys doing?
I'm actually feeling a little down right now, bro.
Really?
Why?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Because Andrea's not drinking with me.
Bro,
No, just kidding. No, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I should. Brandon, how are you doing first before I get into the.
I'm doing good. I went to the dentist 2 days ago. I fixed
Wow.
my chipped tooth.
You had a chipped tooth?
Yeah. Well, remember Chad chipped my tooth? Well, don't make me realize this. My parents still don't know about that. Chad chipped my tooth in middle school, and it finally gave out, so I had to get it redone.
Really? Damn, in middle school?
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember.
Do you remember how we had fountains by the office, and people would go like that, so the water would go in your face.
Oh my goodness.
And I was drinking water, and I guess I had stopped, so I didn't get water. I got the faucet, so I thunk and my chip.
That's
my
fucked.
chips. Yeah, it was Chad.
Aw.
And so
Did you
I-
cry?
No, I didn't. He looked like he wanted to, which is why I covered for him. He was like, "Bro, I'm so sorry," and so I was like, "I was just telling him I got hit with a
yeah.
basketball."
Were you bleeding though?
No, it
No?
was like literally just a chip. It was down the middle. Yeah.
Which tooth?
The one. So you
The
know how
top?
you know the front tooth.
Yeah.
The one right after that one.
Yeah, I have a chipped tooth too. I don't know if you guys can tell. I got it from biting into fried chicken. Yeah, mine isn't as exciting as yours.
Yeah.
Mine was I was just eating too much.
Yeah.
Was that really it?
Yeah, well, it's
What did
been
you bite
chipped.
up?
It's been chipped a couple of times.
Yeah.
What did you
If you're
bite,
talking
a bone?
about the original,
Did you
what?
bite a bone?
Yeah, no, it was literally just the skin.
It was just hard.
Yeah, it was just.
Damn, what kind
And
of
then-
fried chicken was it?
I don't know. It must have been old. It was Popeye's fried chicken. So it was probably like battery acid, like toxic waste and shit.
No, they're not
Deadass.
gonna sponsor us anymore.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't. It was KFC.
But you still eat
KFC's
Popeyes
good
now, right?
too.
Bro, I tried the KFC chicken sandwich. Oh my god, absolute banger.
Yeah,
It was
they
really
did
good.
something.
It was really good.
You agree? You agree?
It's really good.
It's really good, bro.
Yeah, you see KFC. How can they not sponsor us now?
I know.
But
We're all fans.
KFC.
But I'm also a Popeyes chicken sandwich fan.
Damn,
I
you're a
want,
hoe, bro.
I want both sponsors. I can't.
He's a homie hopper.
Where's damn? I
Homie,
know
homie,
for real.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a homie.
Where's the loyalty at, bro?
I'm only loyal
I
to my
prefer
barber.
Popeyes.
I'm only loyal to my barber.
You don't need loyalty. Damn.
It's a joke.
Bar. My sister
No,
didn't.
you
My
don't-
sister didn't even laugh,
You
bro.
don't relate, bro.
No.
You don't relate, bro. I feel devastated when I have to cheat on my barber.
I have
So
yet
you're not
to cheat
loyal
on
because
my
you've cheated on your barber.
No, but let's say I've had to.
Got him.
Yeah, you
Got
did
him.
catch me. You did catch me. All right, whatever. Next subject.
No, yeah, the original way I chipped my tooth. I don't know if I've told you. You know, I think that's what you're referencing. The original way where I needed braces after was, bro, I really thought I was Jeff Hardy. I really thought, at my old house, I remember I got on top of a couch. I don't remember how old I was, but obviously I was super young. And then I was like, I'm going to do the swanton bomb. It's set in my mind. I know it's just commitment. If I commit, I can do it. And for those of you who don't know what a swanton bomb is, it's basically like a front flip,
Yeah.
but you land on your back. And so I jumped off the couch, but I didn't commit at all. I was like,
You got scared. last
I
second?
got
Yeah.
scared. So I didn't. I just basically jumped. And then when I fell on the floor, I landed on my legs, but the momentum was so strong that I ran forward and then I tripped. And we used to have those old school TV moving things. Do you remember, Julie? Where they have the little roller legs. I felt right, the front of my teeth fell right on the wheel. And I remember I felt it. There was no blood or anything. It was just gone.
Yeah.
And then a year later, I had to get braces. So one of my tooth was literally on top of the other.
Wait,
My front tooth.
So your teeth are fucked up from that.
Yeah, my teeth, my right tooth is not real. My right tooth isn't real.
The
Even
whole
right now,
thing?
yeah, the whole thing is fake because I don't know if this is procedure. I'm not a fucking dentist,
Yeah.
but it was already broken at least 2/3 of the way. So they just broke it the whole
So
other way.
wait, did they put a new one all the way into the root? Or
No, I remember he literally an artist, bro. He held something and he
yeah,
made it out of
in a new
mold.
one.
Yeah, he made a mold out of
That's
it. Yeah.
cool.
But that's and it still gets chipped to this day because I guess I eat too rough.
Dang.
I eat really messy,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah. But moving into my topic. This is a perfect intro. Food, drinks. Andrea, I wanted to ask you, because you are a guest. I wanted to ask you. You told me recently that you quit drinking. Why did you quit drinking?
I did. I quit drinking a little over a month ago. So it's
how's that going?
It's been
Easy?
A month. It's been pretty easy, honestly. I still have like gone out to bars and gone out to like clubs, and I don't drink. So yeah, it's definitely different.
Do you go with friends?
Yeah.
Do they get drunk?
Yeah.
They get drunk and
Yeah.
you're just like, you
And
don't
I'm
mind
just
drunk
there.
people?
I mean, they don't get like sloppy drunk. I feel like people just kind of know.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
You don't feel, do you see like other people at the bar though? Do they get like drunk?
Yeah. Super like wasted. And it's a different perspective when you're sober and seeing people get super, super drunk compared to like when you're also drunk with them. Sometimes I'm like, God dang.
Yeah.
Like, you're really this drunk? Or sometimes it's just like, I don't know. It's very weird. It's not like a bad vibe, I would say, but it is very like different. You just see things from like a different perspective.
It doesn't why do you feel compelled still to go to a bar if you're not going to drink? And I don't mean that as like an insult or anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not attacking you. I just mean more in the sense when I think of drinking, and maybe this is unique to me, I crave more the like environment of drinking.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's not that I like being drunk. To me, I like the setting of I'm around all these friends and we're getting loose, like more and more loose, and we're just kind of being silly.
Yeah, I literally just go for the vibes.
You just go for the vibes, really?
It's just cool to like hang out, you know, because I'm not like completely sober. I'm California sober.
What does that mean?
So I don't drink, but you know.
Oh, you smoke. You could say that. You could say you
Okay,
smoke.
Yeah, I smoke. Or
The
I take,
devil's
like,
lettuce?
Yeah, or I'll take like an edible, and I'll just be, you know,
Oh,
like
okay.
vibing. So it's not like I'm just kind of like, you know,
Dry, sober.
Yeah, and I'll still have like a drink. I'll always tell the bartender, I'll be like, "Oh, can you make me something that's like non-alcoholic?" And sometimes they'll make me like a non-alcoholic mojito. Or this last time I went to Hollywood, and I asked the bartender, she's like, "I can make you a Shirley Temple." And I was like, "Okay."
What is it? What's a Shirley Temple?
It's just Sprite with like grenadine and
Oh.
cherry.
You never heard of Shirley Temple?
No.
And they're good.
If it doesn't have alcohol, it's not on my list.
You can get a dirty Shirley. Those are my favorite.
A
Dirty Shirley?
Yeah, so it's just a Shirley Temple with
like a shot of alcohol?
of alcohol. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
cool.
then a lot of bars actually have non-alcoholic options.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've had like non-alcoholic wine. There's non-alcoholic beer, but I'm not the biggest fan
Non-alcoholic
of beer.
wine? I
Yeah.
feel like that might be just gross.
It's grape juice, no?
Well, it depends what kind of wine you get. I get like rosé, so it's just kind of like a sparkling drink. But it was pretty good.
Did you consider yourself like a heavy drinker before you quit?
Kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it was like too much of a problem, but I definitely really liked like going out and like getting like drunk with my friends. It was fun, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like I'm going to stop completely. I wanted to take some time off. I wanted to take 2 months off. So by the end of this month, I'm like considering like, okay, you know, I'll have a drink, but I want to be more like regulated instead of like every week. I was like, hey, Steve, what you doing? Hey, Steve, let's go here. Hey, you know?
Yeah, you'd call me drunk. And
Yeah, I was like, Steve, come over.
like I could feel the spit from the phone. It's like, I'll think about it.
Hangs up on me.
No, but why did you drink? I mean, why did you first quit drinking?
I kind of just got over it. Like I was really tired of like feeling like sluggish, and then, you know, I wouldn't really have like hangovers because I was pretty good at
Hydrating?
at hydrating and like making sure that I wouldn't fall asleep like super drunk. I'd always like stay up, even if it meant staying up until like 4 or 5 in the morning, until I was like at a level where I could still like maintain myself, you know. And I felt like, okay, if I fall asleep right now, I'm gonna wake up and I'll be fine. So I don't know, I just kind of got over it. And I feel like also like with age, it definitely changes, because when I was like 21 or like even a little bit younger, like getting drunk was so like easy, and like I feel like my body was able to like handle it differently. And now that I'm 24,
You're like, you gag.
I'm like, oh my God.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm 24.
Yeah, so I just feel like it's different. I definitely feel very like tired and like sluggish, and I don't know, I was just kind of like, you know what, like I'm kind of over it. Like I don't think I want to.
Yeah, for me, it was the biggest drawbacks whenever I drink. I'm having a beer right now, for those of you listening. The biggest drawbacks that I don't like is what it does to like your metabolism. Because I feel like I always get hungry after I drink, and it's the worst because your body kind of just retains like everything that you eat.
Yeah.
So you wake up the next day feeling like, I don't know, I feel like you said, sluggish, and I genuinely feel like I feel like heavier.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to explain it.
I
Julie,
would
what-
wake up like, sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I'd wake up like super, super bloated, and like I felt super like heavy, and I hated it. And I was always like, dang, I gotta go for like a run, or I gotta go do something. But it was hard because there's so much alcohol in you that you need to like flush out. So it's just.
Julie, what are the biggest drawbacks to drinking for you?
For me, I feel like, at least from the different types of alcohol, like hard liquor, I don't like hard liquor because I feel like I always have like a bad taste in my mouth after, or even like if I drink it a lot. For beer, I feel like it'll just be like in the moment and then it'll be gone. I do the other biggest thing is going to the restroom a lot. Like I need to pee all the time.
Especially you guys are girlies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you hold in the liquor well?
No. I don't drink. I borrow, bro. I always pee. Yeah, I have to pee a lot when I drink. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Easier for me.
Now that you mention it, I'm having flashbacks. I feel like I'm always sitting next to this guy, and he's like, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom."
Yeah, remember when we went to go get chicken? I kept going back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happens to me.
I think it happens more with beer, no?
Yeah.
I think.
Really?
Yeah. I remember, I think in biology class, we saw a video about beer and like what it does to your body. Because I guess it kind of does give you like the up feeling sometimes with beer and like drinking. And that's why a lot of people like to do it because it gives them like the up. And especially in like a party setting, like it gives you a lot more up. But it does like do something to your system where like now you have to go pee. I don't know the actual like science and like
Got
the
you,
things
got
because
you.
I don't really remember it that well, but I do remember like I don't know if it's like dopamine or like serotonin that like the chemicals of like beer happen, and then that's why you like enjoy having it so much.
Yeah, because I don't drink like milk and then right away have to pee, or I don't
Yeah.
drink like water and right
That's
away
a
have
good
to
point.
pee.
Yeah, that's a
Right?
good point.
I never really think of it that way.
Women in STEM.
Women in STEM. Wow, Julie. You're for once you're flexing your education
I
on
low
me.
key thought everyone knew that because we went to the same high school, unless we had a different biology teacher and she showed us different.
We did have a
videos.
different
But
biology
yeah.
teacher. Yeah.
So we got different lessons. But yeah, I remember
Interesting.
she showed us a video about like drinking and stuff. She wasn't saying like don't drink. She was just saying like this is what happens to your body. It was something about biology.
Okay.
Like it generally was about your cells and like how different like drugs and drinking manipulates a lot of different other cells or chemicals that you have in your body. And that's why a lot of people enjoy drinking.
Wow.
Because of that. It's like an upper.
It's basically like a drug.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Wow.
crazy.
I didn't
Do you
know
guys
that.
do you guys think that it's harder for us to not drink because culturally we're all Latinos? What Andre, you're looking at me in a certain way.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I mean, I feel like it's not hard like not to, but I think it's very like embedded into like our culture that we just grow up seeing it. You know, we're kids and we're at parties and like our uncles and our tias are like taking shots or drinking beers or making cocktails and stuff. And it's like you're at like a kid's party, like a 2-year-old's party, and everyone's like wasted. Or, you know, so it's like
You grow up and you're like,
we grow up and it's just kind of like normal to us,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to see it, you know. And
it'll be our turn soon.
yeah, we're just like, oh, one day. And like, you know, we got to that point. And then once we have our kids, I feel like it's going to be the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, my 2-year-old's birthday, come over.
Well,
It's like a bartender.
We throw a party for like everything.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And there's always
yeah.
alcohol. So.
Remember? And they always do the it's Modelo time.
Oh yeah. It's so interesting because I feel like there's obviously both good and bad sides of that. Because obviously there's the bad side that before the show, Julie, that you were kind of mentioning that I'll let you get into yourself. But like the good side, and maybe this is just like an effect of me trying to like rationalize like trauma or something. But I remember growing up, some of the most like affection and like emotional like speeches that my family ever gave me while they were wasted, like at a party. They would like grab you and be like, I love you, like you have no idea how much I love you, like I would die for you. And it's so weird because I guess maybe the machismo or something doesn't allow like a lot of the male dudes to do that sober.
Yeah.
But you feel that when they're drunk.
Yeah.
And because they get drunk so often, it's like, well, I grew up with that being the affection.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, it's also, I feel like I've learned a lot through alcohol. People like drop their barriers because it's like they're not sober. Like they're not in, I guess, in a way, kind of like in control because they're kind of like, oh, like now I'm Lucy and I can do whatever I want kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like for me, I feel like in a way, alcohol has always been a little negative. I feel like for me growing up, you say you had like those fun memories. I always had bad memories. I think the biggest one was probably, I don't remember what it was, but I know it was something for like me, whether it was like my baptism or my 3 years. And all I remember is like my parents were fighting because they were really drunk. I know that they had all taken shots. Like it was basically like for bautizos, they always do like the little pan with like 6 shots on it, and it's like different flavors. And I remember there's pictures of them like taking the shots too. And I just remember them like always fighting and stuff. And I remember my older brother, because he was older, like he was very conscious of what was happening. I was more like, what is going on? Why is my brother crying? Like, why are my parents fighting? And then the other times I would just always like, when my mom gets drunk, she always just cries. Like she's always talking about like her trauma and stuff. So then when I would like hang out with family parties, I always heard like a lot of like different people's traumas because they were just so open and like comfortable enough to like talk about it because they were all getting drunk. And so like I would always just, and I don't know if that's different because like I would go to family parties with them and like it was always just me hanging out with like my parents. And so I would always just hear like the different stories. And like for me, I'm like 5-year-old, like just hearing like all these traumas that they all lived through and like their childhoods. And I think for me, I was always like, man, like why do people like are always so sad like when they drink, or like they always get so aggressive when they drink. And I think for me, that's why now growing up, I sometimes still kind of carry that trauma where like if I see a drunk person or like my friend is really, really fucked up, like I do know that I have to take care of them, but I'm also like, fuck, like, why did you get so fucked up? Like now I have to take care of you. Now I have to be responsible for you.
And then when you're the drunk person?
And then when I'm the drunk person, I'm always like, and I start crying and like I'm throwing up. I'm like, fuck, like I hit bottom. I'm just like all those people that like they just get drunk and like for like because they're sad. And there was times when like I would drink just because I was really sad and depressed. Like, and those times were the ones when I would get super fucked up. And I was like, fuck, like now I'm like one of those people. I'm like the people that I never wanted to be. Like, I don't want to be like how I'm always just arguing with people and fighting. And that's why I would always cry when I would get like super, super drunk. Cause I just think about that. And like for me, at least to me, and again, this is like my own perspective of like things. And this is just my own story of like, I felt like I was hitting bottom. Like I genuinely felt like I was hitting bottom, and that's why I would always cry about it. Now I'm like a lot more like limited to myself of like, I only drink beer and I hardly ever try to drink hard liquor because hard liquor is what gets me the most. A beer is like
the tragos amargos.
Yeah. I was like, for me, beer, I'll have like 2 or 3. And from there, like I'm also a lightweight. So like from there, I'm already like, I have a buzz or like I'm a little tipsy, but like it's not to an extreme anymore. But that's how I feel like I kind of seen alcohol a little bit, and that's why I don't do it as much. And I still sometimes do get a little triggered here and there with like alcohol and stuff because I always think of like, man, like
I get that.
I feel like it's because to me it just feels, I feel like some people abuse it a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I guess is that I think you can have a healthy relationship with alcohol. But I think the harder thing is that because alcohol is so embedded in our culture that it's a lot harder to kind of have that like healthy relationship because a lot of abusive behavior is just normalized within our community. Yeah. That it's like, what do you mean? We're just having fun.
No, I remember one time, this was like a couple of years ago. My dad got really, really drunk because it was my uncle's like wedding. And he fell. And I was also a little like lit. Like we had been taking shots because it was like my uncle's wedding. And I remember my dad fell off his chair and I just started crying. And then my mom was like, why are you crying? And I was like, it's because dad's really drunk. Like, and I was drunk too. So I was just like, man, like my dad's really drunk. And like, in a way I was feeling a little embarrassed because my dad like had fallen over. And like I helped them up, and I just started crying. I was like, I just feel like everyone's just really fucked up, and I don't know like what's going on. And I didn't know that like at that point I didn't know that like I had so much like trauma with alcohol. I was just more like, I just cried.
You're just like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was just like, I just cried. I was like, I'm just lit. I'm too fucked up. I think that's why I'm just crying. But then eventually, like more I went into college, and then more like I just started seeing friends, and like more I started being a little more like conscious with my thoughts when I was drunk. And I was like, I think it's just because like what I've lived through in my past that like has really started to affect me now, which is why like I think after I left college, I kind of did stop drinking. Like I would only drink here and there, and I still like get fucked up here and there, but sometimes it is just through like socially with like my friends. And like I think the last time I got fucked up was for my birthday that I can't remember. And I got really fucked up. And I remember when I was throwing up in the box, I was like, man, I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom again.
Hey, I stuck by your side though, bro.
You
I stuck
did.
by you.
I don't remember it, but
yeah, she doesn't remember it.
I remember.
I remember.
But it happened.
My
But it
favorite
happened.
part was when she put her head up to like look up. She was like covered. Her hair was all covered in tears, covered in sweat, covered in like drool and throw up. I remember she looked at me and I was like, "It's lit, like it's lit, bro. Hell yeah!" But I get that. I totally get that. I just think it's important to be aware of, because I just feel like a lot of that is so normalized that even for me, because I was the youngest, I didn't see that side. Like you said, our older brother and you saw it. I didn't really see it. So for me, I like continue that tradition of like, what do you mean? Like, let's just get fucked up, you know? But you telling me that story obviously makes me aware that no, like there's a lot of different sides to that party that we always talk about, that like Mexican, like either the quince or the baptismo, like all that. There's a lot of different sides to that I feel like people should be aware of. I mean, and even in our family, I won't go too deep, but even in our family, obviously you see different levels of like drinking. What about you, Andrea? Or you, Brandon? Do you guys, does your family have a healthy relationship with alcohol?
I think so. My dad drinks a lot, but like he's pretty chill with it. Like he doesn't like. Yeah, I don't know.
He's chill like that.
Yeah, he's chill like that. My mom doesn't drink because she's like me. She gets super like red and like.
It's just like poison.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. So I've never really had anything. I've never had any bad experiences with it. I've never had anybody like attack me drunk or anything like that. But I think it's interesting because everybody I know drinks, which I always found a little weird. I feel like out of everybody I know, I'm the least drinky person. And it's also weird because I feel like everybody I know like drinks.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, you know, I mean, I'll have one beer. Everybody's like, empties the case, you know, by themselves. So that's interesting, you know.
I wonder where that comes from, really. I'm really curious as to where that comes from, because I didn't realize it was a thing until recently this year. I remember I was talking to a new friend that I had made, and they told me that that none of their friends drink. They all smoke. They just smoke. And it was like, honestly, I don't really know. My parents don't smoke either. I mean, my parents don't drink either like that much. I don't really know that many people who drink. And I was like, really? Wow. Like everybody I know drinks.
Yeah.
And like you said, like drinks fat. Like they drink fat.
Yeah.
But it's like, maybe it's that. Maybe it's specifically the Mexican culture. Like we just like love.
Well, don't white people drink a lot?
They drink wine? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why people like that.
I think they also drink beer.
I thought I don't know if that's a stereotype.
But
okay. I have heard that.
Okay.
I have heard that white people like to drink a lot.
Okay. But one thing I will say, I did see
like,
recently,
like white girl wasted.
Well, because I mean,
no, college parties and stuff. Yeah,
well,
right?
I just always
Frats.
thought, because you think about like
keg?
areas
juice?
like Boston, right? Like Boston, where
Yeah.
like beer's like a huge staple for them, or like. Or you know, or like isn't like a beer like a big thing like over in Europe?
Yeah, I will say
Like
society
what
itself.
is it?
Yeah.
Ireland? No,
Ireland. I don't.
Right?
Again,
In
I don't know if
Germany,
that's like
too.
a stereotype.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but
No,
like,
it's the what is it? The what's that green one called?
Heineken?
Is it that
Heineken?
one?
Isn't Heineken without alcohol?
No.
Is it Heineken?
It's a
I think they have
beer,
like
but
a
they have a
they have
non-alcoholic.
Oh, okay,
they have
okay,
one,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, they
I
have.
don't know.
but I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, so it's society's fault.
They have that. What's it called? It's in October, no? Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Oh
Where
yeah.
they just drink.
Well, because
Right.
remember the prohibition? That's what started like the mobs, and that's all like.
Yeah.
white
No,
so
for
like
sure. Yeah.
I just think everybody in general really likes to drink.
Yeah.
Like,
But
across
I
the
actually,
board.
I'm glad you brought this up, because there have been studies done on the younger millennial to Gen Z, that our generation is the most likely to stop drinking. So out of all generations that have come before us, right now statistically we're the ones who drink less. But that could be for a lot of reasons. Maybe alcohol fell off. Maybe smoking like weed or all these alternative shrooms, whatever, they're getting legalized. Maybe that's the alternative people like to do.
Yeah.
I think it's that. I think it's that for sure. I think there's other options. I think back then, if you wanted to get fucked up, get some alcohol.
Yeah.
But now, if you want to get fucked up, there's like, well, what do you want? You know, there's like a lot of stuff.
Bro, yeah, because have you noticed that there's been a rise in a lot of companies adding alcohol to their drinks? Jarritos has done it. Sunny D has done it. Starbucks has done it.
There's Coke. You can buy the Coke, Jack and Cokes now.
Yeah.
Like officially Coke. and
Really?
Jack. Yeah.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah. And the reason why is because of that. Because our generation doesn't drink as much. So they're trying to appeal to a younger and younger like audience.
I think it's also just like people don't like beer as much
Yeah.
anymore. I feel like everyone's now liking like seltzers.
I think it's also like that thing of like, I don't know if this is this is just, I guess, a schizo, like, or
A conspiracy?
I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but it's like, I just feel like with weed, right? For me personally, there's nothing about the process of getting high that is like yucky, you know? Like, I'm kind of like, you know, I guess like if you don't like hot, like smoke and stuff, but even then it's not like, it's kind of cool, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like drinking a lot of it's, you know? So I feel like,
that's
hangovers. Was it hangovers, bloating, fights,
throwing up.
like emotions.
even like the taste too, you know? It's like why, what part of this is like, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of negatives and not a lot of positive, but
yeah, I think that's why for me, I've mostly just stuck to weed. Like I like to get high a lot more than like to drink. And that's why I think when I do drink beer and I have like one or two, there are times when I feel a little high, and that's why I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stick to two. And I'm like, because I feel like I enjoy the feeling more of being high than like being drunk. I don't know. That's just me though.
I guess I could see that. No,
yeah.
I totally see
and
that.
I feel like and the next day you don't have like the hangover. Yeah, you just have like maybe you're a little like drowsy, but like you're like, okay, like I was just really really high last night, but that's it.
yeah.
And then I just go on with life.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done things you regretted while under the influence? No, too private.
Not that I can remember.
I don't know about it's private. I just genuinely don't have that experience. And I've always felt like,
You're glad you don't?
well, yeah, obviously, but I feel like I've on like a couple occasions been at the point where I feel like, okay, so this is what people talk about when they're like, oh my gosh, I was so drunk. And I feel like
I was so drunk I shouldn't have.
I feel like for me, I was like, because the only reason it's like you, I remember I threw up like directly after this, so that's how I know I was really drunk, is because I was having like a political debate about like gender issues or something like that, and I was like, I feel like I'm not, I don't know, I feel like I'm still me to a degree. Like I feel like I'm not, I don't know. I've always felt like the whole like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to say that, is like, it's kind of a cop out.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you just wanted to say that, and you're kind of being like, oh, I was just drunk though. Like, you know, I don't know. Just me? Am I tripping?
I used to agree with you, but then I saw that famous neurologist who's always popping up. He's like bald. I think Joe Rogan has had him on his podcast. He said something about how there's like a little neurological thing in your brain where your ability to make rational thoughts actually does disappear. So a lot of people, when they are like super, super drunk, they generally are more likely to do things that they wouldn't do if they were sober. Like that is, you could argue, isn't them. But that's kind of like a study that doesn't have enough research yet. But that is an argument you could make. Yeah. Because I used to believe that too. Because I've gotten really, really drunk and I've never done anything that I felt like I wouldn't do sober, or at least I wouldn't like. Well, I guess
I guess I always thought of it as like, if you're gonna do it drunk, it's because you low key did want to do it when you were sober. You just didn't have like the courage to do it. You know, that's more what I mean. But I don't know if that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the saying that they always used to say? Drunk thoughts are sober feelings, or something like that.
Yeah. I always get it wrong.
Something like that.
Well, I guess
sober thoughts.
Drunk words are sober thoughts.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Andrea. It's because she drinks.
Yeah.
She loves women in STEM. She loves
Well,
drinking.
because the way I see it is like, let's say you want to text somebody, you probably shouldn't, or something like that. Like, I'm guessing like if you're sober, you want to do that, but the rational thought is like, I probably shouldn't. Like, there's gonna be consequences to my action, but deep down, I want to do that. You know?
Yeah.
But then if you're drunk, the consequences are like, whatever, I'm gonna die. Like, who cares? You know, like
we're on a floating rock.
Yeah, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, that's definitely the appeal. I mean, that's why I like drinking to an extent. I mean, I like the appeal of like, I'm so present in the moment. Like, oh, if I chug this right now, I'll be like, I'm just having a good conversation with the homies right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having like, there's no tomorrow. Like, I might as well say how I feel right now. and I like that to an extent. But I do think that if you are a person who does it consistently, and you're always just kind of in that state of mind of like there is no tomorrow, I think that's when you don't think consciously of the future. And I think it's a good thing to always invest in the future. It's a good thing to always think about like, what am I gonna do in the future? What's even though it feels like tomorrow is what is it called? Tomorrow isn't promised. What if it is? What if I wake up tomorrow and like I'm like, fuck, why did I like punch my best friend? You know what I mean? Like I think that's where the unhealthy kind of aspect comes from.
Yeah. And I think again it goes back to just people abuse it a lot and like use it as an excuse to like do shit when it's like, I don't know, I think it is very much you're a little bit aware of what's going on.
Yeah. And I'm making the connection right now too of the future thing about how I think that's why people who have a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of like fear of their future like drinking, because they're like, cool, I don't have to think about it. Yeah. You know? Am I right, my sister?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's basically my segment for this week. I don't want to take up too much. I know I've had a problem of talking too much. So
I do agree with you though. Everyone I know also gets very like lovey-dovey when they're drunk, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I know it's like bad. I know it's like probably me, whatever, like rationalizing the trauma. But like for me, and when I think of how embedded alcohol has been in my life, some of the most beautiful, like authentic moments have been when people were shit-faced, when people were drunk. Like I remember on my party when I was really drunk and people were taking care of me while they were drunk, and they were telling me, it was like, yeah, bro, like of course I'm gonna take care of you. Like I love you. Like you mean so much to me. It's your birthday. Like of course I'm gonna take care of you. And to this day, I think of that. Despite how drunk I was like, wow, that's cool that in this vulnerable state they cared about me in their own vulnerable state. And I'm like, that's beautiful. But I agree, Julie. This isn't to like invalidate anything that you said. I do think it's like what do you call it? It's a nuance.
It's a fine line, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess for me, I'm kind of like, why can't you say that to me when you're sober though? Yeah. Like at least for me, I'm like, why can't you like, at least in my own perspective, I'm like, if we're really, really good friends and we're close, like, why can't you just say these things to me and like, I guess be comfortable enough and open enough with me? But that's just me. I'm not saying that's also negative. Like, I'm not trying to also say like, oh, that's bad. I'm just saying like, it would be nice, you know, if it wasn't just only when you get fucked up and you tell me how you feel about me, you know, like I would want you to tell me like when you're sober. Cause then for me, I think like if you were to tell me that when you're drunk, like, yeah, I get the whole thing of like, whatever the saying is.
Say it again.
What did I say?
Drunk words are
sober thoughts.
Boom.
Yeah. I'm like, to me, it still doesn't feel as like a little meaningful, because I'm like, I would appreciate it a little more if you weren't like intoxicated.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
And I think sometimes, at least for me, and this is just again my own brain, like I feel like I wouldn't believe you at the same time. Like when you tell me when you're drunk. Because I'm like, I feel like you're just saying it because you're drunk.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I think you're just saying that.
I don't know.
And I'm not saying like it's the part of like people are telling you those things. I'm just saying like, at least to me a little bit, I'm like, are you just saying this because you're drunk right now? And like, and because there's people who know like when they're drunk, they like to still manipulate when they're drunk.
And they'll use it as they'll use it to their advantage.
Yeah. And that's why to me, I'm a little like, do you really mean this? Like, do you really feel this type of way about me? And I'm not saying like with like just friends that they're lying to me that they love me. I'm like, yeah, they love me, you know, but it's like, why can't you tell me this when you're sober? Like, is it because like, I don't know, you don't really feel that way, or like, or you feel like you're not comfortable enough to tell me that, like with you being sober kind of thing. And again, like,
I never thought of it that
and
way.
again, with like what I said about like taking care of my friends, I'm like, I will take care of my friends. Like, I'm never gonna leave anybody to like their own.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that before. Like I remember one time I went to a club and there was a girl who was just in the parking garage by herself and she was crying. And then me and my friend went up to her and we were like, "Are you getting picked up? Like who's picking you up?" And she's like, "I called my boyfriend. Like my friends left me." And I was like, "Bro, y'all left her here?" And we were like, "We're gonna stay with you until somebody picks you up." And so then I was just like, "Bro, because like a lot of shit can happen too, like out and about, you know."
It's a safety thing too.
Yeah.
It's a safety
So
Yeah.
I'm like, people are crazy. So I'm like, don't
That's
ever.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought
But I don't know.
way.
Those
now
are some
I'm
of my
sad.
thoughts.
So people are
No.
lying to me, even drunk.
No, I don't think everyone does it, but
No,
I think there is some people
I get what you
who
mean.
do it.
I get what you mean. It's not like an end all be all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess my perspective on it is like I feel like I don't know. It's not that like I don't know. It feels. I guess sometimes it feels awkward to be like, "Hey, you know, I love you, bro," you know, or something like that. It feels like, is everything okay? Like, you know, if someone walked up to me and said that, I'd be like,
but why you gotta
so I
assume? Why you gotta assume that everything's
I'm not
okay?
I'm not saying that's appropriate. I'm not saying that's healthy or whatever. But I'm just saying that's the state of mind.
But that's why, like, you guys need to hear the love sober, because then you wouldn't question when he would tell you sober.
But it kind of hits different when people are drunk and tell me stuff.
Yeah, one time one of the homies who I won't say by name, I won't put them on blast. One time one of the homies told me that he loved me, and then he hugged me and kissed me on the cheek.
Aww.
Yeah. One of my closest friends.
See, and I'm sure it hit. Like,
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Were you lit too?
Maybe.
I don't know. I guess I get the vibe that like their guard is like really down.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No, yeah, for sure. But I'm
Yeah.
like, why can't you guys also like normalize it when you guys are sober? you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Andreas.
Go ahead.
Talk your shit. Go ahead. Talk
Yeah,
your
dude,
shit.
because I always tell my friends that I love them, and sometimes they don't say shit back. They're just like, "Aw," and I'm just like, "All right, fuck you too, then I guess," you know. So I think it's like super normal, and I think you should like tell people like more often that you love them. Like for one of our friends, I won't name any names. It was recent. It was their birthday, and I messaged them. I was like, "Oh, happy birthday!" and this long, like, nice thing, and I was like, "I love you," and I was expecting like this friend to not say it back because like they never do.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, and then they said it back. They said, "I love you too," and I cried. I literally cried. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like he actually said it. So I think it's like super normal. And I always
And he
tell
was drunk.
people, no, he wasn't.
Were you like, are you drunk? Are you drunk right now?
Yeah, because I would always like tell, like I tell Steve sometimes, I'm like, "Hey Steve, love you," or like Brandon, I'm like, "Love you, Brandon," you know. So
Because we've known each other for now over 10 years.
yeah.
She like almost threw up live on the podcast.
No, yeah. I mean, one of my friends too. Like every time she calls me before we hang up the phone, she's always like, "Oh, I love you. Bye."
interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a guy thing?
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like you guys should be more. Like,
I feel
open to
like when I
that.
get drunk with the girls, I don't think I'm ever like, "I love you, girl."
Me
Like,
either.
I think we're always just like partying and
Yeah.
shit.
So that's a guy thing?
Because I think we already do it when we're sober.
Just-
Like we're
I
I
always,
think it's
like-
because guys are so
they have
what is
walls.
it? Yeah.
They're like they want to be like machismos and like strong and like because society tells them to be that
Yeah.
way, right?
Unfortunately.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't think you guys are at fault
no,
for
no,
that.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I wish it was that way, but I
Yeah.
don't mind it. I don't mind my drunk homie coming up to me and being like, "I love you, bro," and I'm like, "I love you too."
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. His different. I feel like.
Well, yeah. 'Cause
I-
have you heard it? Okay, when they're not drunk, have you heard it before that?
No.
Well,
I don't
that's why it
think-
hits.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think so. I
Because
feel
you've
like,
never heard it, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, you're warm and fuzzy."
Brandon, I love you.
Thank you.
I said
Hug
that's
now,
kinda awkward.
and then give him a kiss
Hug.
on
All
the
right,
Yeah,
cheek.
give
next
him a
topic.
kiss on
Next
the
topic.
cheek.
A kiss
It's
on
you.
the
Hold
It's you.
hands.
It's you.
Hold
Brandon.
hands.
We'll drink later and then we'll film again.
Okay.
Okay.
So everybody can see the
Whatever.
proof.
Yeah.
Hey, he didn't say it back. I just
Dang.
realized.
Yeah, what the heck?
We gang for real. No.
We like that. We
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. We like this.
Real as
We
fuck.
like this.
Real as fuck.
Wait, so if you guys have known each other for 10 years, how many years do you guys?
I don't.
My whole life. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
I've known him since kindergarten.
So 20.
So 5, like 19 years, almost 10. Damn,
I-
bro, coming up on 20 years.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't.
So y'all
I
don't
don't
get fucked up? Or
I don't
what?
have. I don't have. I have like maybe like a few memories where he doesn't exist in the canon. Like it's pretty weird.
And you didn't tell him you love him back?
I've told you before.
Yeah, he's told me. Yeah, he's told
Sober?
me.
Sober?
Sober? Yeah. Sober, yeah.
Yeah,
Sober, yes.
probably,
Sober,
yeah.
yes.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, for me personally, and I don't know if I can say for most guys, but for me personally, yes, a lot of my male friends, I have told them that I love them sober. Yes.
Aww.
Drunk too, yes, make no mistake. But sober, yeah.
Okay.
So don't
see?
think this is just a facade that I'm putting on. I have told my homies that I love them.
I said, let me ask them right now.
I said, let me kiss them on their forehead too. But they were like, nah.
They're like, that's too
They were
much.
like,
That's too much.
That's too far.
We're not there yet. It's only been 10 years. It's only been 10 years.
Bruh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, no negative though. You know, if you like to drink, you can drink. You know,
It's definitely not a bad thing. I think you just need to have like
just be safe.
control and like be safe and have some responsibility for it. Because you can definitely drink and have a good time, but still be like conscious and aware of everything that's going on.
True.
Compared to like just getting blacked out all the time and never like remembering what happens. I feel like that's
Yeah.
always the worst. But
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
people also roofie, so
yeah,
be careful
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. Oh, this is why we have 2 women on the show. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't
Well, I
even
mean,
think of
drinking
that.
is a different environment for women.
Yeah.
Femme
I do think
presenting
so.
people.
Did you really?
Do you
Really?
remember?
Was it at the no
Footsie.
wait? Well, I mean, you said it already. Fuck it. Go ahead. I mean, go ahead. Let them know. I guess because it's a safety
Cut.
concern. No, go ahead. Let them know because it's safety concern.
This
Wait,
was when was it? It had to be like 2021. I remember it was. Who was it? It was us, me, Steve, Izzy, and I believe Jocelyn.
yeah.
I don't remember if anybody else was there, but I remember we went to the bar down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And it was our first time because we wanted to check it out. And we're like, okay, like, that's cool. I think I had turned 21 during the pandemic. Most of us did. And then, you know, the year after was when everything was opening up and we went. And I remember I had ordered like a drink and then I went for another one and it was like a different bartender. It was this guy. And he was making it, and I'm always very, like, aware. I always, like, watch because that's one of, like, my biggest fears is getting roofied and not knowing, like, what the fuck to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to put, like, my friends in a situation where they have to, like, take care of me to a point that it's, you know. Because if I'm roofied, I don't know exactly what the fuck happens or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I went up with Jocelyn, and then I think Steve and Izzy were also on the other side ordering a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching this guy, like, make our drink, and I think I just ordered like a margarita or something simple. And then I know for a second, like, I turned around because I think we had like a table, and I was like, oh, I think someone's trying to take our table. And I turned around, and then the drink was ready, and I was like, oh shit, that was fast. And then I just kind of like looked around to make sure that it was mine, it wasn't like a different one, whatever. And then I tried to pay, and he was like, it's okay. And I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. And he just kept walking away, and I was like, no, dude, like, I'm gonna pay for it, just because I don't know, I feel bad when like they do that.
Yeah.
And I also, like, a part of me was like, I don't know if I can trust this. Like, I'd rather just pay for it, you know? And I tried paying for it, and he was like, no. He's like, it's fine. Like, you're good. Don't worry. And I was like, why? He's all like, just take the drink. He's like, it's cool. He's like, it's on me. It's like, it's on the house. And I was like, okay. And then I, like, drank it. And then I think I remember I had, like, one more drink after that, and I had a glass of wine. And usually that's what I would like to do is I would like to drink like a couple cocktails and then have a glass of wine because it would just kind of like
Even you out.
chill me out. Yeah. But I suddenly felt super like dizzy. Like I was just kind of out of it. Like I was just there and I felt like hot and like sweaty. And I remember I was like, there's no fucking way. I was like, I don't know what it feels like. So I don't really know what I'm supposed to feel or what's going on. And, I remember I told Jocelyn, I was like, hey, like, can you go with me to the bathroom? She's like, yeah, are you okay? And I was like, I'm going to make myself throw up. She was all like, why? And I was like, I don't think that I drank what I was supposed to drink. She was like, what the heck? And she was pretty drunk too.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And I remember like we walked to the bathroom and I don't remember the walk to the bathroom. I remember telling myself I need to get up and go and walk to the bathroom. And I remember just walking in and I gave Jocelyn all my stuff because I remember I already felt like I was like super like out of it. And I was like, there's no way that that I feel this way. And I've only had like 2 cocktails and like half a glass of wine. And I went into the stall and I just stuck my fingers in my mouth. And I was throwing up and it was so bad. And then I lost my ID. And I thought I lost my ID, but they like stole my ID because I remember they had checked that same guy, he had checked my ID, but I was like, well, they checked my ID before coming into the bar, so why do you have to check my ID again? So I was just kind of like, whatever. He said it was for like the card purposes or, you know. And then I remember like I was checking my pockets. I checked everything. And remember we went back into the bar because I was like, I don't have my ID. Like I need my ID. And they're like, no, like if we find it on the floor, like we'll let you know, but there's nothing. And I was like, okay. And I went back, I think like 2 days later. And I was like, hey, like, do you guys have my ID? Like I left it here. And they're like, no. And they had like a stack of like debit cards, credit cards, and like IDs and stuff. But I never got my ID back. But that night I was throwing up and I kept throwing up. And I remember we walked outside and we were sitting on the curb.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like freaking out. I was like, holy shit. And they're like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I just need to keep throwing up.
Yeah.
And I just remember like everything felt like cloudy and I felt like weak. And I remember I would like sit with like my like resting my head on like my hand. And it was just like everything would go blank. Like I wouldn't know anything. And then all of a sudden like I would like open my eyes. And then, I don't know, it was scary. Like, I felt like I was dead for like a second.
Yeah, I remember it was
just,
fucking,
like, gone.
It was really weird. It was really sus because I remember you did not drink that much. And I remember you were throwing up for a minute.
Yeah,
and then,
it was really bad.
You sat out on the curb and you were like completely like freaked out. And I remember I was talking to you. And then I think like mid-sentence, you threw up.
Yeah, I literally went, I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
And I just like threw up.
Yeah. And then we waited for you until, I think, was it an Uber or Chris?
Yeah, we got an Uber.
Yeah.
It was with me and Jocelyn.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we took an Uber and then we got to my house and I don't remember getting to my house. I don't remember like going to sleep. And I remember Jocelyn, like she like was in my room with me. She's like, do you want me to stay? Like, are you going to be okay? And I told her, I was like, yeah, like if you want to stay, like you can, but I don't want you to get in trouble, like with your mom or like I don't want her to say anything. And then she was all like, oh, like, let me ask or whatever. And then I told her, I was like, you know what, like it's fine. I'll be fine. Just go home. And she left like a trash can next to my bed and she made sure that I was sleeping on my stomach in case I threw up again. And I guess I woke up in the middle of the night and I changed my clothes. And I don't remember that because I remember I texted her the next day and I was like, hey, did you like change me? Did you want me to change? She's like, no. And I was like, what the fuck? And I got scared too because I was like, who helped me change?
Yeah.
But I guess I had done it by myself because nobody was home. I think my parents were in Mexico. Mm-hmm. My siblings were out. So it was just me by myself, which is even scarier.
Yeah.
You know, but I felt bad like having her stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I forgot how I found out that I got like roofied. I think I went to the doctor to just get like a physical. They did some blood work. Mm-hmm. And then I don't remember what it is that they like told me, but they asked me, they're like, oh, like, do you drink? Do you do any drugs? Do you know? And I told them, I was like, I drank. And I told them, I was like, occasionally, like, I'll smoke weed or I'll take like an edible. And they're like, okay. Everything's good. We just found some other stuff, but you'll be okay. And I was like, what the fuck? And they never like told me exactly what it was, but that's when I kind of figured. I was like, I think it was that.
Yeah. So. It was probably because they think like you do drugs.
Yeah,
so
probably.
Like, well, we probably won't bring this up.
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know.
Right?
They're probably scared of telling me because I was like, I honestly have no idea. Like, I don't do anything.
Maybe, yeah.
And they just didn't want to like freak me out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I remember that night because I remember me and Izzy, we waited for you until you got picked up and you left. Yeah. And me and Izzy were pretty lit. And I remember we walked all the way home.
Yeah, like because I remember you guys wanted us to walk back with you.
Yeah,
you're like,
because I was like, "There's chill. 4 of us."
Yeah, but I was like, I need to leave right now. Like I can't. Like I need to go home.
I remember.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably a good choice either way.
Yeah, it's just it's scary. Like drinking is fun and like going out and all that stuff, but it's dangerous and it happens to like men too. It's not only women.
Yeah.
That get roofied, but it's just more often that it happens to like women, and that's like the scary part of it all because it's like, you know, you're just trying to go out and have a good time, but
that's why you need a drinking buddy too.
Yeah,
that's why. I think because even that day that we were there was like some girls who were there by themselves, like drinking at the bar.
Yeah,
it was just really crazy. Yeah,
it's scary to think of.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So. I never went back there.
Yeah, I haven't gone back, and it sucks because it was actually like a cool place, you know, and they had like a little dance floor and like a disco bar, and I remember I was like, dude, I want to get up and dance, and then all that shit happened, so I was like, I guess I gotta go home.
I guess I'm never coming back here.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're safe, bro. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks.
be safe out there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, be safe. Watch out,
Take your
especially as the
drinks.
spooky season's coming up.
Yeah.
You never know if it'll be Michael Myers. Might have something worse waiting for you, bro.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. Michael Myers, bro. Michael Myers is out there right now.
I'm scared.
He's we have windows for those of you who can't see. He's probably standing out there right now, looking in here,
Looking
bro.
up, like in the movie.
Oh yeah, that too. But Brandon, what'd you bring for this week?
Yeah. Well, I just saw right now, like from Twitter. You know that guy from That 70s Show? He got sentenced to 30 years in prison. Right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the fucking what's his name?
Hyde. That's who he plays.
I think so. I've never seen the show.
Well, his real name is Danny Masterson.
Yeah.
The, with
Yeah.
the sideburns, right?
The
Yeah.
one
With the
who got
curly hair.
he got accused of what?
I think it was like a sexual crime.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, I just saw right now he got sentenced to 30 years in prison.
30.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
I mean, that's
shit.
what yeah. But
Holy shit! I've never seen the show, so
Me
Yeah, I've
neither.
never seen it.
there's
either.
no connection.
Really?
there.
None of
Yeah.
you seen it?
No.
I haven't either.
I've seen like a couple episodes, but like
Yeah,
just because it was on TV and I turned it on like when I was a kid.
I've
Have it
never
as, like,
even
background
that
noise,
much.
you know?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I just brought that up because fuck, 30 years in prison.
I just like how you were like, oh, I brought it up, but none of us have seen the show.
No.
I
And
guess
then-
to everyone else who has seen it.
And then
Yeah.
you know how we were talking about like, oh, your friends will say like they love you. Like right under that, Patrick sent me, man, fuck you.
That happens to me too. That happens to me too. Sometimes I'm showing someone a text, and it's literally like one of my homies texts me like, "Fuck you."
No, like, but my real topic is let's see. There's no reason I'm bringing this up. There's not like oh whatever. I was taking a shower the other day, arguing with my shampoo bottles, you know, and it popped into my head.
Reliving arguments. You're like, I should have said
I should
that.
have said that. Man, I just would have got his ass. But I was thinking about how like we've talked about it on the show before, or at least something in the similar vein about feeling kind of behind in life, or feeling chronically behind in life. I didn't come up with that term. ChatGPT helped me come up with that. But I guess I just wanted your perspectives on that because I think that we're all different ages, 22, 24, 26, right? I feel like I hear a lot of people in our age group say that. And then I looked up for like, just to kind of see like what the statistics were on that. I didn't find anything like specific, but it is like a common phenomenon that they call like a quarter life crisis. That seems to happen a lot. And I think a lot of people credit it to social media.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like that, because I think that's like a heavy like
You could compare yourself a lot.
yeah, a lot of comparisons there. So yeah, I just wanted your guys' perspectives on that. And then I have a question for you later, but yeah.
Oh, me specifically?
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, all of you,
I
but
think-
like it's
Yeah.
yeah.
You can go ahead first, Julie.
I just feel like
The oldest in the group, go first.
I don't know. Well, because I think it's just like it does make me sad when people say like they're getting older and they're not at the point where they want to be in life. And I think it goes back to kind of what we talked about, like I think a couple episodes ago, where I was just like, I think some things just take longer than others. I think some people are very fortunate enough to like do what they want, you know, like and get into the industries that they can. And I think there's other ones who like it'll take longer, but you'll get there when you can. And like I think it sucks when you do compare your ages of like, well, they got in when they were like 24 and I'm over here like 27 and I can't even get in. And I feel like it's just like, I think, I don't know if it's just the way society has made it where like, oh, like at 25, you should be at this point in your life, you should be successful, financially stable and like all these things. And then when you do hit 25, you're not there. And then that's where like the whole thing of like thinking that you're behind or like you hear other inspirational stories of people who have made it when they were like 18 or younger than that even. And you do tend to compare a lot. And I think that's just what happens a lot. And I think it does have to do a lot with social media. And when people are also like, oh, I'm like, I don't know, 21 and I have this big show for me and like I'm doing great and like financially I'm amazing. I'm living my dream. And there's other people who want to live that dream, but they're like what, like 25 and they haven't been able to live that dream. But I think it's always just like to each their own. And I feel like people shouldn't be so harsh on themselves. I think I used to be that way a little bit of like, I feel like I am still that way a little bit now where I'm like, I feel like I'm not fully where I kind of want to be. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know where I want to be. Like, I feel like, how I said it last time, like, I feel like I'm going through life just experiencing and trying to enjoy what I have. And I feel like I'm very fortunate enough that I have like a family that's just supportive in like what I'm doing and whatever I want to pursue in. It does suck a little bit when I do hear like when I do hear of like maybe you should stop and like just get a full-time somewhere else, and like maybe you've been doing it for years now and like you shouldn't be like still doing this, like even though you're not I guess getting like it's all mostly just financial, right? It does suck to hear that sometimes because it does, I guess for me, make me lose motivation of like trying to continue in the industries that I want to be in. But I think for me, it's just like it's overall the experience, and it's overall like some places require to have you like years of experience. So I'm like, I'm gonna stick to these and see how far I can go with it. And if I can't, then that's where I'll be like, at least I tried, you know, at least I still tried. And yeah, it took me like years to do it, but I still tried and I still did my best to do what I wanted to do. And I didn't listen to anyone else, even though everyone else has been telling me to like give up on it. And I think that's what a lot of people, I feel like, should still just keep going. Like, I feel like age doesn't really matter with what you want to do. I feel like as long as you want to do it and that's what makes you happy, you should keep doing it. Yeah. I don't know. That's just me.
Bars.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. Andrea, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I definitely talk about this a lot with Brandon. Actually, we talk about this a lot just because, like, I personally feel like I am, like, behind in life in a way. Just because, like, it's taken me a lot longer to do things that I've wanted to do or that other people my age have already done. And sometimes it gets tough, but I you know, I'm a big, like, advocate for, like, you know, everyone has, like, a different timeline, you know, and sometimes it takes longer to do something than it would for, like, somebody else. And that's completely normal. I think that people should, you know, normalize that more, because I think there's a big pressure on us that we need to have everything done by, like, a certain age. And if you don't, like, you're kind of a failure, or it's like, what are you doing with your life, you know? And I remember when I was younger, I used to tell myself that by the time I was 25, I wanted to be married and start having kids.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm 24 now, and I'm like, I do not want kids. Like, I don't want to get married yet. Like, I'm just chilling. So, I don't know. It's rough, but I feel like sometimes, I don't know. It's weird. Just like, I guess for me, for an example, it's like I haven't graduated college yet. And it's taken me a while. And I stopped going to school for a little bit. And it's also just because it really does depend on, like, your support system. And I feel like my parents, you know, my parents are from Mexico. They're immigrant parents. To them, work was always more important, because that's how they got by. They're like, okay, well, we grew up, like, we had to start working by the time we were like 10, and you just got to work and work and work. And, you know, it's kind of controversial because there's some, like, you know, immigrant parents that come here and work so their kids can go to school.
Yeah.
But my parents have always been the type that's like, okay, well, if you can't go to school, like, it's cool, just get a job, like, you'll be fine. And they've never, like, pushed school on us.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes, like a big part of me, like, kind of wishes that my parents were a little bit more pushy with school, so I could have gotten it done, like, sooner. But it's also like, you know what, like, I'm doing it now because I want to, and it's taken me a while, but I don't think it's anything wrong. Sometimes it does, like, get to me because I see, like, people graduating and people, like, getting these, like, jobs, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I still have, like, a couple more years to go, but I don't know. I think times are changing. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people are becoming who they want to be without having to go to school, or just pursuing their own dreams on their own.
Yeah. I also feel like, I think it's also really normal, I guess, to think that way. And what I found interesting, I think it was for your birthday last year, and your friend, because they're all young. And, like, again, like, I'm usually the oldest in the room. So, like, I think everyone was, like, turning 22 and everyone was graduating college. I don't know if it was last year's birthday or a couple of years ago, but I remember your friends were over and they were all talking about, like, graduation and, like, how they felt like, even they were just at graduation, like college, and they were already like, I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Like, I feel like I'm not working in the career that I want to work, that I thought of getting out of college. And in my head, I was like, I think that's crazy because it's like, you guys are just graduating college. Like, that's one of the first steps, which everyone always reaches around like 21 or 22 or even younger, but it depends, right? Just of your path, the school system, right? And in my head, I was like, damn, like, I remember I had the same thought process when I was 22. I remember being like, I remember I was like, I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Because for me personally, it was more like I didn't know ever what I wanted to do. Like I never knew what I wanted to be my career. I just chose a major. I really liked it. And I was just like, I'm just going to choose this and stay with this. And so like to hear that, I feel like in a way it is normal, but I think it's also like people don't understand that times are different. Like things are fucking expensive now. Like to even buy a house is like really hard. To find a job is a lot harder than like we are told, right? We are told that if you get a degree, you'll get a job, but it doesn't automatically happen that way, you know? And I think there's just a lot of things that we kind of grew up hearing that it's like, it's not the way it is, right? When we do get to that age. But I also think it's really normal. Like if you are going through that crisis, like I think you're okay. Like I think you'll be fine. And it's totally understandable, I guess, to hear. It's like we all kind of go through it at different ages. Like you guys at 24, other people at 22, me at 26, 27, whatever. I feel like we all kind of go through it. And I think it's just, I just feel like it shouldn't be that we should compare each other. You know, I think we all go through different paths. We have all different timelines, like, and that's okay, you know? I feel like as long as like everything is what you want to do and you're not listening to what others tell you or like whatever society tells you or whatever, like, I feel like as long as you stick to your own, like you'll be fine, you know? And I think it's normal. Again, how I said, I think it's normal to kind of go through that crisis a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're going to talk, but I think I wanted to ask you the question before you do.
Okay,
like,
go ahead.
Well, because I wanted to bring up, because everybody has a similar background here. I wanted to ask if you thought that there was like a cultural aspect to why, because I feel like a lot of people I know bring that type of thing up. And I feel like they share like a cultural like background too. Yeah. So I just always wondered if that phenomenon had some cultural roots, because I feel like
I think so. And this is why I think it was interesting listening to you guys talk, because I personally don't feel like that right now. Like I don't feel like I'm behind in life. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. But it's not because of like, oh, I feel like I'm just like grinding and I'm just like doing everything right. It's more of the sense of I feel very comfortable with what I have. And it relates to what you asked me, because I feel like culturally, if we think about it, like our outcomes for women, it was seen like if you weren't married at like 16, you were basically a bum. Like you were basically gonna grow old and die alone. So that's already for you guys. You guys were unsuccessful from basically the moment you guys hit puberty. Yeah. And then to not have kids, like you said, you all might have kids at 25. Yeah. My mom had kids at 19. Yeah. Most of our parents were teen parents. And it's because that's what was accepted, you know? And I feel like for the women, that makes sense. Yeah. But for me as the guy, it's pretty normal for a guy in a culture to just even be like an older guy and never have kids. Yeah. And to just have a job, like as a dude, at least in my opinion, in our culture, that's like you succeeded, you did it. Yeah. Like you making your own money, there you go, you did it. I feel like maybe that's why you guys feel it more than I do, and trying to connect it to the cultural aspect of it. As for like just in general of feeling chronically behind, I was, while you guys were talking, I was trying to think like, why do I not feel like that? And for me, I kept thinking of stories that I've heard of actors. I was thinking of this one, the guy who played Dwight on The Office. He one time, have you ever heard of his story you've heard of it, right? He talks about how he was like in his mid 30s when he got hired on the show. He was like, I've been doing acting since I was like in my 20s. I haven't gotten a single bite. I haven't gotten a movie deal. I haven't gotten shit. Like I'm a failure. Like I should just give up. And then he got Office, which is now one of the biggest like shows of all time. But he talks about how even when he got that, those feelings like never went away, where he felt like I'm still don't feel successful. I still don't feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
And he equated it to that if you don't like fix like what's more inside of you, then you'll never really feel as though like you're there, as though you found that mountain hill. And I think that's also like nuanced. I don't think that's just to like discourage you of like, oh, I'm always gonna feel this way. I took it more as that success and wanting to strive towards something is something that's innate in everybody. I think everybody wants to succeed in whatever field that they feel like gives them a passion or whatever they want to do. And I think that like to me, I describe it as hunger. And for me, I like being like hungry. Like for me personally, like I like always being like, there's always something more to pursue. Because I always think of those quotes of like Benjamin Franklin said this. Some people die at 25, but don't get buried till they're 75, which is to say that maybe somebody at age 25 reached everything they wanted. Maybe they got all their dreams and their hopes and their goals. They got the money that they always wanted, the job that they always wanted. But then that's it. That's all they ever did for the rest of their life. They never felt like they wanted to do anything else. So they stayed stagnant and they stayed the same as they were. Yeah. So why even live that life, you know? I think for me, I romanticize that journey. And to me, it makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel happy to where I'm like, yeah, maybe somebody my age is like way more successful in the field that I want to be in. But like all I do is kind of stress myself out and make myself envious, make myself depressed if I think about it too much. Yeah. So why not just enjoy the like moments right now? Because one day I'm gonna look back on it and romanticize it anyways. I'm be like, man, I miss when I was at this spot in my life. It was actually really cool. I wish I had realized it sooner. So even when I get those feelings of like fear of like, man, like I gotta keep like waking up every day like 6 a.m. grinding, making sure my dreams are coming true. I think about how one day, like, I'm going to be older and wish that I had just chilled the fuck out. So why don't I just chill the fuck out now? Yeah. And I know that doesn't resonate with everybody because since I don't feel that way, I can't really, like, say the perfect words to remedy whatever worries are there. But I guess, like, for me, like, it's just, I think about that. The people who live to 20, who are 25 and basically live an unfulfilling life because they feel like they have everything they ever wanted. Or those who succeed later on in life and they realize like, wow, like I was chasing the wrong thing my whole life. Why was I even so worried about the job? I should have been working on myself. Yeah. You know, like I think about those things and I'm like, I don't know what the future holds because it doesn't exist yet. All I know is that the present is here and I can do whatever I want with the present. And so I'm not going to think about the future. I might plan for it, but I'm not going to worry and have the anxiety be overwhelmed with me. Because, I mean, I think about, like, bro, you guys for sure know people who, like, have kids at 19, maybe have a house already at 20, and are, like, some of the most miserable people on the planet. Yeah. And it's, like, why even, like, worry myself with pursuing something that I might not even like? Yeah. You know? Like, all I know is that right now I'm, like, alive, and I have these people around me that I enjoy and I love that are in this room, and I can do my best. As long as I'm doing my best and the best is good enough, you know? Yeah. As long whatever pace I'm going at is the perfect pace. Yeah. It's like people say, you know, this is exactly where I need to be because this is exactly where I am. Yeah. You know? It like to me it's like as long just try your best. The same thing with the Dwight thing. One thing he said is that if he had given up, so many people, he was 35 before he got the office role. So many people had told him to give up, get a full-time job, do something else. If he had stopped at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, all the way to 35, he had stopped at any moment there, he wouldn't have even had the success that he has now. Yeah. And it goes to show you that as long as you pursue and you keep trying, it might take a long time, but you'll end up doing it. Yeah. I mean, Nardwar even talks about it. Nardwar is a super older guy. He interviews like music artists. He's like a super older guy. He didn't see success until he was like in his 40s, bro. Yeah. Like people's journeys are all like are completely different from each other. So to kind of compare yourself, you're really doing yourself a disservice because you gain nothing from comparison because people aren't living your life. Yeah. Like even the support systems that we talk about, like oh my god, like this guy, he's already like succeeded in everything I want to do at age 22. It's like, yeah, but he also has like rich parents. who are millionaires and will give him everything that he wants. And even when he earns that, it won't feel as good as when you earned it because you had to work for it.
Yeah.
You know, he had nothing. To him, it's like buying it at the store. It doesn't fulfill his soul. He doesn't feel happier. He doesn't have a more fulfilling life as if you will have when you get everything that you want because you continue to push for what you want.
Yeah.
You know, like I just think of that stuff, and like I think there's just so much to like look forward to, and like there's just so much. If you stop worrying and comparing yourself to other people, you'll find so much beauty in like your own journey.
Yeah.
And it took me maybe a long time to say that, even though I'm young. It took me definitely when I was younger, I had those worries. But once I finally made that like cross barrier, I feel like I'm just having an amazing time, spending time with people that I love, spending time discovering something new, being surprised by all the like surprises that are just always around the corner. You know, like I know that this is like blatant, like blind optimism, but I just have to believe, like I just have to believe that all those things that I want to do and all those things that you guys want to do, that they're just going to come true. And it doesn't really matter when they happen because they're gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that's as much as that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. Ending it off with some Forrest Gump quote.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I just feel like it just sucks because I feel like I know a lot of people personally who are very stuck in that mindset about age. And like I said, I went through that, and like, and I think at the age, I think at 25 is when I was like, who fucking cares? Like,
bro, really, who cares?
Like,
yeah.
Like, who cares how old I am? Like, and like, it just sucks, I guess, to like say it to other people, because there are other people who like say that, like how I said, like these, like your friends were like 22, and I'm like, bro, like you guys still have a lot for your lives. Like you guys are just 22. Like, and again, like even like with 24, it's just like you guys still have a lot. Like, because to me, even 30, like I'm like 30 is still really, really young. I was like, in the perspective for us, it's culturally different because like our parents had, or like
Had
even
a
people
family.
that had a family at like 19, or well, I think the ages were like what, like 15 to like 20, 25. Like that's when they're already having like a whole bunch of kids. And it was just like, for us, everything is so different now. And I think it just sucks because it is very much that like getting people out of that mindset is just really hard, like to get, because they're so stuck in the negative of like, like I want to be here, but I can't because like of certain things or whatever. And it's just like, it just sucks telling people that they're okay and like it's okay to feel that way, and then people are kind of still in that, you know. And this is all just to say, like, who cares? Like you'll get there when you get there, you know. And I think nobody else should also judge you for how old you are when you do get there. It's just like, oh, you got there, like that's cool, like you got there, like you got where you wanted to be.
People like pursue it as if like they're pursuing like happiness, like when I get that, that's when I'll find happiness. But really, you make happiness. You make happiness wherever you are. When you pursue it and you try to find it, well, you're never going to find it because you're the one who's like, you make it where you are. And I think that's the best way I can kind of equate it. Like I said, since I don't really have those feelings, I don't know what specific spots to hit. But I do think that it's a mindset, and I do think it's an unhealthy one. I do think that you can overcome the mindset, and I don't think it's healthy because just comparison is always the thief of joy, no matter what. You always feel like
you become very envious too. Or you just like start hating, you know.
You start hating.
You like you're really there and I'm not there yet.
And that's toxic, bro. Because like, why would you want people to hate on you? You know. No, I mean, unless you get off
on me, no.
Unless
you love,
but I'm just saying.
Unless you love haters.
I'm just agreeing with you that like it just you start becoming more negative because you're stuck in the negative.
It's like a venom almost.
It's
like one thing that I always like tell myself is that like I'm like, you know what? It's never that serious. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, like, I'm still alive.
We're on
like,
a floating rock?
Yeah, we're on a fucking floating rock. It's going to explode one day. We're not going to know. It's just going to happen, you know? But I always tell myself, I'm like, hey, I can eat. I have food. I have a house. Like, you know, like, I have friends. And You know, maybe I haven't.
But most importantly, you have yourself,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, you can have as many people as you want, but you just have yourself.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
Find it's the self love. Once you have that, you're like unstoppable.
Yeah.
I air high five, Andrea. Air high five.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brandon?
Be kind.
I like listening to your guys' takes. That's what I wanted. I thought it was interesting. I don't know. I feel like I think it comes from a lot of things. I think like if you look at celebrities or you look at I think specifically athletes too, where you're like, damn, like this person is so great, and they were so great almost out of the womb. You know, I feel like that's just not available to me. You know, or everybody did this when they were this age, and I feel like I got so much catching up to do. It won't feel the same, you know? I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting aspect of life. But I mean, I think it is social media. I think it's a lot of things. But I think I like what Steve said, you know? I think it's a mindset that you can get out of. But yeah, I don't have a lot of takes on it. I just wanted to hear your guys' takes, and you guys didn't disappoint. So yeah.
Yeah. I like what you guys said too, though. I If
was
I was
saying.
definitely one of those people who was like into it, I think it would resonate a lot.
I was like, I always want people to hear, I guess, these kinds of things, because I do feel like a lot of people are stuck in that mindset.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because like, I guess like I feel like, because me and Julie were talking about it before, because I asked her, because I know a lot of women and or not even just women, a lot of people in general express like, oh, I want kids when I'm like 28 or like when I'm 29. And like for me being 22, I'm like, I feel like that's like right around the corner.
Yeah.
You know, which is not bad. Like if that's really that's really what you want, like then go for it. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, I guess the idea of like achievement feels good to people. Like even if that achievement is like a bit delulu, you know what I mean? Like
bought and sold.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess.
I don't know. I think. Well, because it's funny, because when she was like, oh, I want kids when I'm 20, I wanted to be married and have kids at 25. I said the exact same thing
she did.
earlier before, when like Stevie went to go get her. And I was like, I don't know if it was just like the perspective of us just being really, really young, that we thought 25 was a long way to go.
Yeah.
And I think when we probably started, or at least me, when I started entering like my 20s, I was like, bruh, 25 is like 4 years, like what, like 5 years from now, like 4 years from now, or when I was 21. I'm like, that's like not that far.
Yeah, I'm like, that's tomorrow, bro.
Yeah. And I'm like, and for me, I graduated college when I was 22. So I was like, to be 25, to be out of here, and like to find like someone, and I'm like, I at least want to be in a relationship with someone like for at least 3 years before we get married. And I'm like, bro, like that's crazy. And I always think of when people talk about friends, and they're like, when you put it into perspective, like a lot of them were like in their 20s, and like they didn't know what they were doing in life. And like Rachel was going through, like, she wanted to get married, but then she didn't end up getting married.
Oh,
and
you
then,
mean Friends the show?
Yeah, Friends. Yeah. And then like when everyone kind of like at 30 started getting everything in like their own apartment, they started getting married, and it's like you put it more into like, you know, things happen eventually later on whenever you want them to happen, you know. And I think it's always fine wherever you end up and whatever age you are. Like, I don't think it really matters. And I think it is a lot more like society and social media being like, oh, because I'm old, like I look old, so people don't want to hire me because I look old or something. And I think that just sucks, you know. That sucks. It comes from like society and stuff like that.
I think it's also like, I genuinely think people want that intersection of like, I want to be young and like look young and feel young, while also having the like things that I want.
While having all the like, what's it called?
They
all the like, there's a word for it. All the like privileges of like someone who's already at the end of their life.
Yeah.
But I wish I want that now.
Because there's that expression, right? Youth is wasted on the young. You know, that I think people just want that, you know, like people are like, they want their cake and eat it too. And I don't blame them. I feel like, that sounds appealing. Imagine having like $1 billion right now while you're young and everything works.
These awards or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, even with like when people talk about traveling, right? When people are like, oh, I want to travel right now that I'm young, because then after like I won't be, because like I'll be married, I'll have kids or whatever. And to me, I'm always like, I feel like I'm gonna travel when I can travel. Like I'm just broke. Like that's the only reason I can't travel right now. But I'm like, like if I have to travel when I'm 50, like that's fine. Like as long as like eventually I have that set whenever I can, whenever that is, like it'll happen. Like whether that's something that I want to do, even though it's not like my number one thing that I want to do. Like I want to do other stuff. But I'm like, I feel like I guess we should kind of just stop putting everything at an age. Like at 25, I should have traveled like to 10 different areas in the world, or I don't know what it is. It's just like I think it's just we need to kind of like stop doing that in a little bit, and that's cool. I mean, that's cool if it's like at 25 you were able to reach so many countries in like just that shorter span. But it's just like don't judge others that they can't do that, or tell them like they should be doing that at that age, because it's like again, some people aren't financially stable to do all those things, or don't have that time to do all those things. Like, I just feel like people should have a little more, like, I don't know, what is it, sympathy of, like, where people are in life, and, like, not judge them for where they are at because they're at a certain age.
I think to me, it just goes back to the individual of, I think everyone has their own journey, so only focus on yours, you know, like really saying like these things of like, let's normalize and make sure that everybody stops like doing the comparison thing. Just do your own thing. Yeah. Just do your own thing. Like carve your own path.
Worry about yourself.
Yeah, because like then you'll never have to worry about, oh, I didn't reach this at this age. All you have to do is worry about just, I did this.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing. Because I just like, I know I've seen the spectrum. I've seen all aspects of it. I know currently right now 22-year-olds who are so successful, straight out of college, already have a good job. And then I see people who are older, 27, are still struggling to get by. And they both share the same like anxiety, like depressions, like fears of the future. And I'm like, if there seems to be a never ending cycle of that, then move, like get out of that cycle, do what you love and only focus on your own journey. Yeah. Like I really think all those anxiety and fears come from that comparison. And even myself, I remember I didn't make this realization until very recently, like this year, of like, wow, a lot of the things that like push me is the comparison of like, oh, you know, like, I don't know, like Martin Scorsese did this or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? That's comparison. If I do my own thing, then I think that's where I'll get what I really want. And it's the respect. And that's what I really like appreciate, is that people respect that in whatever journey I took, I didn't give up and I continued to pursue the things I wanted. And that's like the most important point, is that if you really want something, just keep pursuing it. Even if the whole world is fucking telling you that you're a fucking bum and you should give up, you continue doing it, because if you get what you really want, then you'll always be satisfied. And all the people who doubted you it'll feel even more like you're eating, bro. Like you're fulfilling this hunger in you that fills your soul. I don't know. That's just what I think about. I think about how just like the inner self, bro, the inner self, if you feel full, then you always like just radiate good energy. Yeah. I don't know. I should study like spirituality, bro. Yeah.
Give out good energy.
Give out good energy. And no negative energy has space to fulfill anything inside of you. That's why I don't believe in curses. Because you can't curse me. Because I feel like I radiate too much of my own energy.
We about to curse him right now.
Yeah, go ahead. We said it last week. Somebody put a curse on this show.
Bruh, no.
I'm telling you, I have to. I know, Andrea's like, I'll do it. I'm telling you, my shield, it'll protect you guys.
Yeah. If you say so.
I swear, I like die. I die between now and the next episode, and like in like a hilarious fashion.
Oh my god!
I like went out screaming.
Fell out the window.
Yeah, it's like embarrassing. No, I got like an infection on a cut, like a paper cut, and then I got
an infection.
It went bad.
Oh, you know what I heard recently? That there's like I think literally like a triangle in your face.
Oh yeah.
That if you get like a pimple in that area and you pop it, for some reason, I don't know like the science behind it, you could die.
Really?
Yeah, I saw like an article about some girl who had like a pimple in like that like triangle area in her face, and she just popped it, and then she ended up like going to the hospital because she felt super sick, and she ended up dying. And I didn't think it was real. I was
That's
like,
true. That's true.
I was
Yeah.
like, there's no fucking way that happened. And yeah,
What
it
the
turns out to be
fuck?
true. So I was like, holy
I
shit!
think
And
it's 'cause
that's how you're
it's-
gonna die.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna die. That's the hilarious
Yeah,
way.
because
to
I think
die.
it's like a critical like area, so like you can get a nasty infection there by accident, and that, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I saw something similar but much sadder.
I'd be popping mine all the time.
I saw
One of these days.
One of these is you're gonna pop it and then just fall over. Joy, I'm gonna carry your lifeless body like in Boys in the Hood. Like, oh, no, you're gonna be exactly like that.
Bruh, speaking boys in the hood, bruh, that shit hits when you're high.
Yeah,
Boys in the Hood.
yeah. Me and my sister watched it off in Edible. It was so good. We
I
were
was
literally, we were literally like that. We were like,
You guys like Menace to Society?
Menace to Society. I don't think I've seen that one.
That one's really good.
I think
Same
I've only
director.
ever seen it like long ass time ago.
That one's good. Same director.
Yeah, I probably saw it when like they used to run movies on TV. I
Mhm.
probably saw it like in the background.
Yeah.
I remember because in that movie, they used the number 2. I thought it was like a sequel or something. It's not.
That's it. I know. I didn't even.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
didn't even think
crazy.
of that.
What were you gonna say? One of you were gonna say something, no?
I was just gonna say that I heard something similar but very sadder. I'm not gonna share it because
Oh.
it's sad. I'll tell you guys after the show.
But Julie,
Yeah, Julie.
your turn.
Oh, my turn. Should I? Okay, so I mean, I guess I'll briefly. Did you guys hear talking about funny stories? Did you guys hear about the guy who like pooped himself on the who had diarrhea on the airplane?
I just saw the
No.
aftermath.
Not at all.
You guys
No.
didn't see
I
it?
just saw the aftermath.
Yeah.
I
So-
saw it.
I
I
saw
saw
it.
it.
So
yeah.
basically, it was a flight that was going from Atlanta, and they were gonna go to Barcelona.
Mm.
I don't know how long that flight is, but I'm guessing it'll be like 14 to 20 hours on a flight.
Mm.
And so I guess they had already been like flying up, and then the pilot was like, "We need a return. There's like a biohazard issue. We need a return." And then they're like, "Okay." And so then they just like turn around, and then basically this guy just had like really, really bad like diarrhea, and he like pooped all over the plane.
Damn.
I don't know if you guys haven't seen the video.
Nope.
That's like all the
yeah,
like,
I've seen it.
biohazard.
It's like
No,
a
I've seen it.
trail.
Yeah, it's a
I've
whole
seen a
trail.
trail.
It's a whole trail of just like
Brandon, I can't believe you haven't seen it. You just
I
probably
think-
blacked it out, bro.
Yeah.
I think people on the plane didn't even know what was going on. They were just like, "Why are we going back? Like, what the hell's going on?" And then but yeah, that shit like reeked. And so the flight was about 2 hours out, and then that's when they were like, "We need to go back. We need to go back."
Wow.
And then so they ended up like cleaning everything, and I think the flight got delayed like 8 hours before I had to go back to Barcelona. But yeah, like the guy was just, I don't know what happened. They didn't really like go into like how he got diarrhea or like what happened with him or anything. But it was just like, yeah, there was a passenger who had diarrhea, and he just all over the plane.
Why didn't they just? Would you guys have just been like, nah, let's just muscle through it. Like, let's just get to
No,
our
No,
fuck
Do you
no.
know
that shit
how far?
reeks.
Do you know how far into the flight?
You said
they
2
were?
hours, right?
They were 2 hours. How long
Yeah,
was
they
the
were
flight?
they were 2 hours
How long was the
into the
flight?
flight
They
To Barcelona.
to
from-
Barcelona
probably yeah, like what she
What,
said,
like-
like 14 to like.
to like 20 hours.
I would have been like, let's fucking muscle through it. Like, let's go.
Bruh.
I would have been like,
Ain't no
Fuck
way.
that.
Bro,
Supposedly
it would
a-
have vented through the
Supposedly
whole
a TikTok, yeah, because that's it. Like it just goes through the plane.
Ugh.
Supposedly through a TikTok, supposedly they spray like vanilla like spray, and then
made
it just
worse?
smelled like vanilla poop.
Vanilla poop.
plane.
That's gotta be. I feel like that's if the guy's like not a like weirdo or a jerk. That's gotta be the most humiliating thing ever.
Yeah, everyone on the internet was like, we feel so bad for the guy
I
because
know.
like he's all over the internet now
Yeah.
about like him. And then there's videos of like the
Was
like,
he just sick? Like he was just.
Bro, would you
kinda
have
sick?
thrown hands?
probably?
I mean, if he was like a weirdo and he did that on purpose, yeah. But like if
You would have swung.
but like, can you imagine being?
What
him?
if he threw some of it on you?
But can you imagine
Bruh.
being him?
He wiped his hands. On
Ew,
Because what if he was like, like my stomach's a little upset, but like what's the worst that can happen? You know,
that.
like I just and then that happens. Like you basically like you make the no fly list because you're a biohazard essentially.
Damn.
That's wow.
Wow.
Dang,
Poor
that is
guy.
embarrassing.
I know.
That's embarrassing.
I'm
That's
like,
humiliating.
damn.
I don't
But
think I'd
yeah.
ever recover.
I think
I-
it was.
Uh-huh. No, you were
I think it was like last year. like a video came out. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. And it was some guy at like a self checkout. It might have been like at a Target or something. And it was like a security footage. And this guy was just like paying. And then you just see like something drop out of his shorts. And he walks away and kicks it. And he like shit himself. And I guess he wasn't wearing underwear or anything because he just fell through his shorts. Ew. And yeah,
I've seen it.
I think he got like in trouble. Or
that's inexcusable. Yeah. He did that on purpose. You know?
Throw him in prison.
Yeah. Nah, I don't think he'll get any like consequences.
I mean, like I'm assuming
it's all an accident. And, like,
it's a horrible accident.
Yeah.
That is embarrassing.
I was like,
it's also kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
So you would still be like, let's go.
Well, because I mean, it's like another 2 hours back. I'd be like, man, let's just go. Like,
I wonder why they didn't stop at like.
Because think about it. Because think about it. It's like you have to go back. That delays your flight. You had like it delays so much. You know, like.
Well, it was what they were already 2 hours out, right? Yeah. I said that right. They were 2 hours out, and then
you said delayed 8 hours.
then it got delayed 8 hours.
So that was basically.
But then they had a fly back, so that was another like 2.
But like,
so how much is that?
Like in total, they lost that. That was like a 10-hour process.
Yeah, like 10 hours.
So they had
might as well.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what? Let's just come on, everybody, suck it up, let's go.
I think you're underestimating. You're underestimating how bad it probably smells.
No, I'm sure it smelled really bad, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like
vanilla poop.
Did they have like a vote? Did they like?
No, I think it was just like the pilot was like, let's go.
Well, they should have had a vote. They should have had a vote.
A vote?
All right, boys, what are we thinking? Like, you know?
This isn't, what is it? A democracy.
All in favor of going back? And like, you know?
I think about it more in the sense of like, it just must have been so bad they had no choice.
They were like, oh, the guy,
we won't make it.
The pilot could even smell it. He's like, no.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he was like, we're going to go down. There's no way.
We're going to go down.
Yeah, like it was that much of an emergency.
Well, because it had already like stained the carpets and shit. Like it was like.
What did they do to the guy? Did they like, all right, just stay in the bathroom, bro? Like, or what?
Probably. They just maybe made him stay in just one spot. And
that's
like,
crazy. That's embarrassing.
You're going to stay there and you're just going to stay there the whole entire time.
Because like he's locked
people
in that
said
plane.
People also said that the airplane had to like cut off the carpet. They were like, we're not cleaning that shit. So they just cut it off. They just removed the whole carpet and were like,
I'd never recover.
It'd be the last to hear me.
Yeah, never see me again.
At least they didn't like expose his identity or anything. They were just like, "Oh man,
they should have."
Not yet. I feel like they will.
No,
eventually.
someone will. Someone will. Someone
yeah,
will.
someone
like,
will.
Shame him. Shame him.
Be like, "Oh," but
beyond diarrhea, Julie, what'd you bring? Something similar? Something related?
No. So again, this was on Twitter. I'd be on Twitter, you know, Twitter. Or whatever.
X, bro.
I still call it Twitter. I'm sorry, everyone else who gets offended by that.
Me personally, I got
sorry, Elon.
Elon.
Me personally.
So I had seen what do you call them? Tweets? Do you still call them tweets?
No, you call them X's.
Oh, X's. So I saw X's, I guess. And somebody had posted, this girl said that her best friend cheated on her BF of 3 years and she stopped being her friend. Thoughts? You guys want me to say that again?
If Julie, if you cheated on your man, I would still be your brother.
Okay.
So ergo,
but not friends. That's different. That's family. That's blood.
Yeah, I'd still be you guys' friends if you guys cheated on your partner. Too. That has nothing to do with me.
What?
So you wouldn't be friends?
What?
You wouldn't be friends with?
Okay, and then the quote tweet, right? It said, "As someone who was best friends with a cheater, I don't blame her. You can." That's none of my business, all you want as a friend. But those character traits don't just stop at the romantic relationships. At some point, they may impact the friendship.
In what way? Oh, no, he's hanging out with other friends. Oh, okay, no. That's what friends are.
I think they're just saying like they might be a little toxic. So they're like, your friendship becomes a little toxic in that matter.
Maybe are they saying that they're disloyal in other settings?
Probably.
Like they talk shit about you behind your back, or they wouldn't have you like that.
Yeah, I think that's what they're kind of implying is like their loyalty. Like if they're not loyal to their partner, what makes you think that they're loyal to you as a friend?
But do you think all cheaters are created the same? Do you think all
created the same?
Yeah. Is all cheating uniform or is there different
yeah? Do you think there's some cheaters who are worse than other people? Do you think some cheaters are evil and some cheaters are just like a serial cheater? Yeah.
I would assume some
Deadass.
people are a lot more evil than others.
Okay, so if your friend just made a mistake and they cheated on their partner, you would drop them even if you felt like they were trying to better themselves?
Because okay, in this scenario,
Ooh,
and I'm not saying
Hey,
no,
that was a good one.
and I'm not saying that like I believe this. This is just what I'm posing. But I feel like there are times when like the perspective that I show is that like your friend is fire, right? And your friend is always burning people, or in this scenario, she's always burning her relationships, right? And you're always like, nah, she's chill, like she's cool, she's whatever, like she's chill. So you always tame her, right? And then at one point, it comes back to you where like she now is burning you, and like she's setting you on fire, and you're like, well, fuck you, like.
But that's not what the question is asking.
You, right?
Yeah, that's a different.
That's not what the question is asking.
Well, because I don't say I agree with this. I'm just saying. I feel like there are some people who are very, very much evil, and like they do enjoy that life of cheating. Like they're like.
So you're saying if you have a friend who cheats, you should drop them?
I'm not saying you should.
But then what's your perspective?
My perspective?
Yeah, you personally. What do you
I
think?
feel like for me, I would tell them that like what they're doing is wrong. I'd be like, bro, don't be fucked up to people. I was like, I feel like especially cheating and just betraying people's trust is like the worst thing, because I'm like, people are very sensitive about their trust. For me, I'm very sensitive with that. That's I'm like, to do that, that's like very foul. To me, I would tell my friend like, you shouldn't be doing that. Whether you still want to do it and listen to me, that's up to you. Like you can still be doing that shit. Like that's up to you. But to me, I'm like, I feel like that's not right. And I feel like you should, it's kind of like how you say, like, keep your homies accountable. Like, it's just like, why are you being fucked up to certain people? Like, I guess for me, for my girlfriends, I'm like, why are you being fucked up to a guy? Like, it's already enough for a guy to, like, be sensitive or be in his emotions, and you're over here, like, playing with his feelings. Like, to me, that's why I'm like, you're fucked up. I don't think I would stop being friends with her. I think I would just tell her, like, she's in the wrong. Yeah. I'd be like, yo, like, maybe you shouldn't be doing that as much anymore. Like, or maybe, I don't know. I feel like sometimes when people do it too, it's just a lot of like, what is it? Like trauma, or it's just like issues that they have, where it's just like they kind of self-sabotage, where they're like, they see it that they have a good person with them, and then they're like, this is too good to be true, so I'm gonna go with somebody else, kind of thing. And I feel like that kind of just sucks that people do that. And I don't think you should leave your friends. I mean, it's up to you if you want to leave your friends, if they are that type of person. But I'm like, I don't think you really should do that. Like, I think if you guys are really homies, you would help them in a way. I don't think you would just leave them and abandon them in like their own habits. I don't know. That's just me.
I can agree to that.
I don't know. Just me though?
I think so too. I think if homies go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
Yeah, because me and Julie argue about this all the time. We actually do. I guess I agree with you. Like, I feel like, I guess for me, I picture myself, if like this was a scenario, with the friends that I have now. Mm-hmm. And all the friends that I have now, I've known for a very, very long time. I mean, we just talked, I've known Steve for like 22 years. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's like, in this time that I've known my friends, they've only shown me who they are, and that's good people. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if they were cheating, yeah, I'd tell them like, hey man, you probably shouldn't do that. But for me, I'm always gonna be like on your side, like no matter what. Like that's just me.
You're just loyal like that?
Yeah, like I'm always gonna be on your side, you know. And I feel like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. But for me, being on your side is gonna be like, because I feel like if any of my friends cheated, I'd be like, I know it's not right, but there's got to be something up with you right now then. Mm-hmm. Like, what's going on, you know? So for me to be like, nah, like, I'm gonna just drop you, seems kind of like, I don't know, dropped at the first sign of trouble kind of thing to me. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I guess for me, I'm like,
it's almost fucked up for you too. Like, you're also the one who's doing something in essence kind of toxic and evil, because you're dropping somebody off that you swore that you had like an emotional foundation of friendship, warmth, were there through thick and thin. To drop them on the first sign of trouble shows a lack of actual like genuine friendship that you might have had.
I guess, yeah. For me, it's also like, I saw this on like floating around the internet, is like, how am I gonna like laugh with you only? Like I'm here to like through the hard times too, because that's what friendship is. No,
Yeah.
like it's not. I feel like it's fair. It's not unfair for me to only want you during like the good parts. Like I only want you when you're kind of funny, or like when I want to hang out. You know, I don't want to be your friend when you do like when you make mistakes. Like I don't want to be your friend when you like make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No, like I'm there regardless. You know, so I guess in this aspect, like I get it if it's like a new friend you made. Like if it's like you just made this friend and you're kind of like I mean like I feel like I've only seen like bad stuff about you, you know?
Yeah.
But like Steve or Andrea or Julie, I feel like I've seen a lot of good things about you, so I'd be like nah, in my heart I know these are good people and you guys fucked up, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna disappear. Like I'm here to see you come back to who I know you are, you know. So that's why I'm always like, when people are like, I dropped my friend, I'd be like,
Then they were never really your friend to begin
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
I guess, because I don't know. I write for y'all. I
Ride or die.
yeah. So I don't know. That's my
Hey.
opinion, I guess.
I feel like he said it all. Unless
Yeah.
you guys have something to say.
I agree. I think you just, I don't know, like he said, like, or like you said right now, if like your friend were to drop you or something after something like a mistake that you made, then I guess they never were like really your friend.
Yeah.
Because like if you guys did something that, I'd be like, dang,
Why'd you do
I'd
that?
be like, why'd you do that? But you want to go hang out? You want to go do
Yeah.
something? You know,
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, like you're still my friend, you know, and I understand if you make mistakes, everybody makes mistakes, but I'm not gonna like stop being your friend because of something that you did,
Yeah.
even if it like, you know, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you didn't do it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's just like for real, like yeah.
Yeah.
I get if it's like a murder, like if you like,
I know.
if it's
Nah,
like a
even then
murder.
I'll be like,
No, yeah, I've told
What
you.
did they do?
What
Yeah, what they do.
Now
I wouldn't-
you're,
like,
now
if my
you're,
mom-
what did they call him? You're an
An
accomplice.
accomplice? No, I told you if you guys ever like killed somebody, my favorite to you would be like I pretend I didn't hear that. I don't know that I'd go hide the body with you.
this guy's
But-
a loyal man.
But I
But you
wouldn't.
said, if I repeated it to you, then you.
No, I'd just be like,
So if I tell you 5 times.
no, I told you. Let's say you kill somebody, right? And you were like, Brandon, I have a confession. Like I killed somebody. I'd be like, just don't ever tell me about that again.
And then if I do tell you about it again.
I would. Why are you? She's trying to get
I
me.
just want to know.
Why do you want me
I
to
just
turn on
wanna
you?
She
You're
know.
has-
asking the right question.
I just want to know.
I'd be like, if you keep telling me again, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm not gonna snitch you out. But I
Okay.
tell you, my favorite to you is that I'm not gonna tell anybody.
Okay.
I feel like if
Snitches
you're
get
gonna get
stitches.
away with murder, I feel like the punishment you deserve is that you got to live with it. Don't try to drag me back into it. I feel like if you want to,
Damn.
Yeah.
you know, if you're gonna get away with murder, then get away with murder. But like that's something you got to live with. So that's my favorite to you. But I'm like, don't. That's why I'm like, don't drag me into it. Don't make me be like, oh, let's go hide the body or
Yeah.
whatever.
It kind of, you could equate that to cheating. It's like
What?
your homie cheated, and it's like, my favorite is that I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm a friend.
You gotta live with
Yeah,
that.
you gotta live with that, bro. It's not. That's you made that decision, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm still here.
No, yeah. No, it's because I was like on Twitter, it was like, for me, it was just like a repetitive thing that just kept
Yeah.
coming up. And people were like agreeing with her about her leaving like her friend. And I think somebody like made a point like kind of like that, saying that like, why would you leave your, like, you've known your friend for such a long time. And this is again in perspective of women, where it's like, why is it that we keep going against each other as women instead of like, that's your friend, like that's your girlfriend, like you should still be supportive of your girlfriend instead of being supportive of the man.
Yeah.
I guess
Like-
because people.
Because it
think-
doesn't mean also, it doesn't mean like, yeah,
like,
go
yes,
cheat
yeah,
more.
yeah,
Yeah, go cheat more.
Yeah, you know.
Straight.
I get that, like being like I guess because people equate it to being like you're reinforcing that
Yeah.
behavior, which you probably shouldn't do that, but like you know, yeah,
It doesn't mean you're reinforcing it. Obviously, supporting could mean a lot of things. Like, don't cheat again. It doesn't mean, support doesn't mean literally telling them, yeah, get into another relationship right away and cheat on them too. Add another one to the scoreboard. You know?
Yeah.
Supporting could be, don't do that.
So how do you guys do that?
What do you
How
mean?
do you guys support friends that cheat?
I don't think
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I don't have friends
No,
that
my
cheat.
no, my
I
friends are
neither.
cheaters.
Consciously, like damn.
Well, you support
Like you
them.
don't feel bad?
No,
I
feel
wonder
like- I
wonder
feel
if
like-
people feel bad. They're
Do you mean like
damn.
support in the sense of like keep cheating? Or
Like
do you
you
mean
being
support?
the supporter, like you being the friend of the friend that cheats a lot. Like
Oh, like a serial. If your friend was a serial cheater, Like,
Yeah.
let's say, how would I deal with if Steve was a serial cheater?
Yeah.
I was a serial cheater.
I'd be like, why do you do that, man? Like, you really shouldn't do that.
I'd be
But
like,
When I was a kid.
So then you
Again,
would. So then you
dude?
would talk to him. So
Yeah,
you'd
of
be
course.
Yeah,
But
that's
the-
how you support
That's how you
someone.
support. I'd be like, man, in my opinion, you really shouldn't do that. And then
Yeah.
they, like, you
And-
know, that's
Mhm.
probably why you're so
Yeah.
unhappy and feel so guilty all the time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Starts crying.
Yeah, you know?
In my opinion, support means criticism and, like you said, holding your friends accountable. To me, support is having uncomfortable conversations.
So then to the point where it gets like your friends like, well, fuck you. Like I'm gonna keep doing this. Blah blah. Blah. Is that when you guys break up?
Well,
depends.
I feel
Depends.
like it depends. If they're like, fuck you, man, like, I'm like, whoa, all right. But if they're like, I just don't think like this is something I can change like right now, I'd be like, I hope you get help for that, man. I hope you get help for that.
No, but what
like,
if they're like, no, like I'm gonna still keep cheating. Like that's what I want to do.
like, all right, in this scenario, it's Steve.
It could be whoever you want.
All right, in this scenario, it's Steve. I'd be like, just don't tell me about it. Just don't tell me about it. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like if he was a serial cheater, like, I'd honestly, like, maybe this is toxic of me. I'd still be his bro. I'd still be like, I mean, you try your best, man.
He's keeping
Like-
it
You're
real.
like,
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's okay.
He's a real
You
one.
can hurt
He's
people.
a
Like,
real
crucify
one,
me,
yeah.
crucify me. I'm just too loyal a friend. Yeah.
He's too loyal, friend. Like, God forbid
His
somebody's
biggest
too
flaw-
loyal.
Is
Everyone-
that he's too loyal.
Yeah,
I'm
my
dead.
biggest flaw. Yeah,
Everyone
Yeah.
become friends with Brandon.
yeah.
He won't tell on you guys.
He'll help
Yeah.
you hide the bodies.
Mhm.
Oh, wait. He'll help you keep the secret
Yeah.
where you hid the bodies.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'll do.
I'm
Yeah.
dead. No, but yeah, I was just like, damn, bro. People were like fighting about it and being like, yeah, she's right. You shouldn't be friends. And
Yeah.
then I was just like, damn.
I think those people are just hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just hurt.
I just think, yeah, I think people have just gone through like different stuff in life with their own friends where it does become that, where they're like, fuck you. Like, why are you getting involved with my life kind of thing? But I just feel like at that point, I feel like your friendship is a little toxic already.
Yeah.
Well,
Because if
the-
you can't like accept like criticism from your friends,
Yeah.
then it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just think you can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you guys probably shouldn't cheat. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Brandon
isn't- this-
says it's okay.
He'll still be your friend.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah,
still be your
still be
homie.
friend.
This
so.
isn't to condone cheating. this podcast does not condone cheating.
It condones friendship and loyalty.
Yes.
That's
come-
what-
Yeah.
Friendship.
Mhm.
Real.
So Brandon told me that if I cheated, he wouldn't say anything. He
I
wouldn't rat me
wouldn't.
out.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You would, if you had a friend that cheated, you would tell their boyfriend right away?
No.
Oh,
I
So then
would
why?
don't.
Why?
I don't
you-
yeah, then why
Why
is
am I
it
in
a crime
trouble?
that he
Why
that
am
he
I in
doesn't do?
trouble?
Yeah.
Wait, I never said that.
Dang.
Why you guys always
Guys, why you
accusing
guys
me?
attacking her?
It's even like right now when I presented the question, you were like, "Well, how would you feel?" I'm like, "I'm just stating what they said on
I can't
Twitter.
ask you
It's
how
not
you
saying,
feel.
It's not saying that I agree with it.
I can't ask you
I
how
was
you
just
feel.
saying, like,
Guys,
damn,
stop
like,
fighting.
Andrea's having trauma right now. Mom, Dad.
I'm just like, bro, no, I don't give a fuck about a guy. Like, if she wants to cheat, she can do what she wants, you know.
Damn, that's not what we said though. That's not what we said.
Women, we
You're
up, all right.
Damn.
Fuck these men. Fuck
Yes.
these
No,
men.
but see, because
Andrea's like, thank you for inviting me. I gotta go.
Hey guys, I'm getting a
nah,
call.
you're spitting, Julie. Yeah.
Am
See,
I though?
I'm that
Oh
kind
my
of friend.
God.
all of a sudden, I'm spitting.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
condone cheating. Please don't cheat. Please do not
Yeah.
cheat.
No, I've always said it. Don't hurt people, bro.
Yeah,
Like, don't
don't
lead
do
people
that.
on. Don't
Yeah.
don't hurt people.
We're just joking, bro. It's all
Yeah.
good. Don't.
Odd jokes.
I hope nobody's listening and be like, you know what? I am gonna cheat.
You know what? They're right. My friends will be my friend if I'm. If they're my real friend,
This to be my friend.
Fuck.
if they're my real friend, they'll support me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically what Brandon said.
All right. She can't. She
There's
doesn't
con-
understand.
there's
Just
context.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's testing your friendship's loyalty.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna test.
So
you
you're not
guys.
loyal?
I'm gonna test you guys.
So if your friend of 22 years, the way we call like their significant other called you and was like, oh, where was so and so last night? You wouldn't do the like, oh, they were with me.
Yeah, they were with me.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Andrea.
I would do the same thing.
Wow. Everybody.
Because at the end of the day, I know they're not gonna be our friends anymore.
I wrote you. It's like I'm gonna keep my eye on them.
Yeah, just because like even then I'm like, it's not my business. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like it's there. Like
Yeah, I guess,
You know?
I guess it's just toxic, but I guess the way I always, saw it was like, that's just their, like, you know, that's their
their
fun,
life.
that's their fun
Yeah.
little private life.
That's their villain era.
No, but I was like, they're not like that when we're hanging out. Like, you know, I don't know. I guess I'll delete all this. I don't know. Anyways,
Like,
Let's see what
Strap.
people say in the comments.
yeah.
Would you guys leave your friend
Is
if your
this
friend
is this
cheated?
the episode that gets you guys canceled?
Maybe.
Imagine.
I'm gonna get canceled for being too loyal. Whatever. If that's a crime,
Hey, like I said, bro.
lock me up.
I mean, you are very loyal,
Mhm.
so
I'm loyal as fuck.
people are gonna be like, nah.
All right, lock me up.
Lock me up.
Bury me under the prison.
I'm dead.
100 years.
But I'm glad y'all had fun with that one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was good. Is that it, Julie?
Mhm.
Is that it for this week?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. Andrea, I want to say thank you for coming on this fun podcast. It was a really fun podcast, really
Yeah.
lively. We had a lot of
Yeah.
bars in this one.
A lot of
Um,
arguments. No,
Yeah.
shit.
yeah. We needed the extra feminine energy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
usually it's just Brendan.
It
I'm
be-
just kidding. I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around.
You know,
Julie, that's an
maybe,
insult to you too.
maybe I'm too
I like
loyal.
how you
know.
Maybe,
I know.
Maybe I will snitch on him.
Maybe I will. Maybe I
Maybe I
will.
will.
I don't know. I'm
It
a,
was too easy. It was right
I'm
there. It
a,
was a layup.
I'm a rethink stuff.
Oh my god! This is the last podcast. Imagine you never see us upload again.
That'd
I'm gonna
be
walk
funny.
out. First walkout.
First walkout, Julie.
She
No,
walks out, she punches you.
that's where you cut the cameras. All right. Well, I hope everybody listening, I hope everybody watching has a happy Thursday, has a happy rest of the week.
Yeah. And shout out to our patrons, Daniel Villanueva, Catherine, Jay Chicano, and Yoel. If you want to join the Patreon, our link is always in our bio.
Yeah.
But
And
thank
shout
you.
out to Andrea.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andrea. Thanks for coming, Andrea.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Um,
having me.
we hope you enjoyed. But until next time,
We'll see,
see you guys next
y'all.
week. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.